It can be difficult to keep a practice while being away. That is true of all of us, yeah. Karen from Maidenhead, Dermot from the Cairngorms. Good weather, but turning a little cold. Lizzie, Old Tupton. Meg Todmorden, Christine Shrewsbury, Julie Sheffield, where it's been a sunny day. It's been really beautiful here as well, actually. Victoria, greetings from La Mesa in California. Got Eileen in Whitstable, Linda in Abingdon, Oxfordshire. Christian from Linz in Austria. Lynn from Herefordshire. Got Suffolk, Berlin. Yeah, people from many different places. How wonderful. Good. So we'll just wait another couple of minutes in case anyone else is coming in, but using the time to just check you've got what you need to be as comfortable as possible. And you can do the practice sitting, you can do it lying down, you can do it standing, you can do it walking. It's completely up to you. The main thing is that we're intentional around our posture. We don't just sort of slump into some familiar old posture, but we think, how can I be dignified in my body, or as dignified as possible in my body? If we're sitting in a chair, you might want to get a blanket and do what I do, where I have a blanket and I wrap it around my waist, and then I roll it over a couple of times, and then I can just rest my hands in here, which is really nice because you let go of tension in the shoulders. You can just have your hands supported. It's an option. If you're lying down, then having a pillow or a cushion that's going to support the head without the head tipping backwards or forwards. Good. And can you hear me okay, Emma? Because I've got a different mic. Okay, good. Lovely. So yeah, very big warm welcome to everybody, and very warm welcome to many old friends I can see out here. And then if you're here for the first time, a very warm welcome to you as well. And it's just a half-hour practice that we do every week, called Space to Breathe, and it's exactly that. It's just a chance to settle, take a bit of time out from our lives, as it were. Obviously, it's part of our lives, but take time out of the daily activities and settle into awareness and settle into kindness and love. And you don't really need to remember anything, you just follow along as best you can, because I'll lead the practice. And chances are you'll wander, that's what minds do. But when we notice we've wandered and we choose to come back to the practice, that's our moment of success in the practice. Yeah, sometimes people think it's successful if you stay completely concentrated the whole time, but that's a very, very hard thing to do. So I think it's more encouraging to think success is when we notice we've wandered and invite our awareness back. Good. So I was wondering what practice to do tonight, and I think we'll do a connection practice. So this is where we come very deeply inside ourselves, first of all, with an attitude of care, kindness, and then we open our field of awareness to include others. And I'll lead it in such a way that when we come into ourselves, we also tune into hopefully a greater sense of flow. We can let go of being maybe quite so rigid and rest into something that's a little bit more fluid and open. And then we'll invite in others and realize that they are just like us, that their nature essentially is just like us. We sort of express it in unique ways, of course, but none of us likes to suffer. We all want to be happy. We're all breathing in and out. And we all have these bodies, minds, hearts that are continually changing. And we all kind of suffer because we rigidify around experience. And I've got a wonderful quote from Einstein I'm going to read out at the beginning to help us get a sense of this. Okay, so let's begin by choosing our position and then settling into stillness. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable, or else lowering your gaze. We're sitting, having the hands supported somehow, either with a blanket like I showed, or on your legs in your lap. If you're lying down, having the hands resting either on the body, palms downwards, or at the sides of the body, palm upwards, or in whatever way is going to be most comfortable for you. And having a sense of the body dropping into stillness. And seeing if we can yield the weight of the body up to the support beneath us. And we can soften gripping and let the body be held and supported by the chair or the bed or the floor. And to help us arrive, if you want to, you could take a few deeper in-breaths and then have a sense of arriving, settling, resting a little bit more with each out-breath. Letting go of the past, letting go of whatever's coming next, and see if we can arrive in presence, in the company of everyone who's here. There's 109 of us now, all choosing to rest in presence for the next 30 minutes. And when you're ready, allowing your breathing to find its own rhythm. No need to force or strain around the breathing in any way. It's a receiving quality on the in-breath and a letting go quality on the out-breath. I'll read this quote from Einstein now. A human being is a part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. They experience themselves, their thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Einstein as a scientist and giving us this perspective where holding ourselves completely separate from life is a kind of optical delusion. And it's a prison for us. And if we can learn to release, open, feel connected to life itself all around us and within us, then that's going to be more liberating. But first of all, let's have a sense of ourselves. Having a sense of the body, the weight of the body, the shape of the body, whatever position it's in, resting down into the support beneath us. Having a sense of our emotional weather, how we're feeling right now. Just allowing it to be as it is, without resistance or judgment. And you'll almost certainly have thoughts flowing through the mind. That's what minds do, they think. So seeing if we can let the thoughts come and go like clouds, passing across the clear blue sky of awareness. And seeing if we can have a whole sense of ourselves. So allowing awareness to pour down out of the head to feel the whole body. Feeling the sensations of contact with the surface beneath us. And allowing all the different sensations in the body into awareness. They flow in, they flow out, they flow in, they flow out, moment by moment, like a great cloud. Maybe we've got sensations that are painful, unpleasant. And you'll probably notice a tendency to resist and harden around them. Maybe even there's a kind of battle going on with this aspect of experience. Seeing if we can soften a little bit. And imagining or feeling that our awareness is kindly. We can receive whatever's happening with warmth and care and kindliness. Maybe you've got pleasant experience, there's a quality of ease or contentment, spaciousness arising. See if we can enjoy that without grasping. It's a lovely quote to kiss the joy as it flies. Very often we sort of squeeze out the pleasure of something by the desire to repeat it. Let's just see if we can really enjoy anything that feels pleasurable or spacious, and then let that also flow through the moments. If it works for you, you can imagine that kindliness is pouring into your whole experience with the in-breath. Then with the out-breath, everything's getting drenched in this kindliness. If you're not feeling it, don't worry, but just knowing that the possibility is there and the intention is also still powerful. And staying grounded and centered in this quality of awareness. Let's allow the circumference of our awareness to expand and invite in a friend. Somebody that we like, where our relationship is easy and friendly. So allow them into our field of awareness. And I always imagine that we're just sitting quietly together when I do this practice. Me and my friend. And initially my friend seems to be an object, very other, as it were. But then as I sit quietly with this quality of awareness, I feel into all that we share. And I feel into a sense of common humanity with my friend, both breathing in and out. We'll both have painful experience at one time or another that we'll tend to resist. We'll have pleasant experiences at one time or another that we tend to chase after and grab hold of. And so many of our difficulties are caused by these twin impulses of pushing away and grabbing hold of. The details will be different, but the basic tendencies are probably very, very similar between you and your friend. Probably neither of us likes to suffer, and we both want to be happy, content, at peace. So let's just sit quietly with our friend, breathing together. If it works for you, you could imagine breathing in awareness of their humanity on the in-breath, and then imagine kindliness and care, well-wishing even, flowing out towards them with the out-breath. Or you could use some other approach if you'd prefer. The main thing is we're dropping into connection with our friend. Sometimes we can get a bit forced, a bit strained. So just checking that your body is still yielding into the support beneath you, not forcing around your breathing. Let's just check in with ourselves again, being aware of the whole body, heart, mind. Checking that there's still kindliness or an intention of kindliness flowing towards ourselves. Again, staying centered and grounded. Let's open our awareness again. And this time, let's invite in awareness of all of us meditating together. 109 of us, many different countries. We've all got unique circumstances, and yet here we all are, resting in the shared experience. We're all breathing in and out. None of us likes to suffer, and we all want to be happy and at peace. We'll all have habits of getting tangled up with experience, either through pushing away or through chasing after, or maybe we just get confused. We've all got the potential to be free of those habits and to rest in something much more fluid and open and connected with ourselves and with others. Breathing in awareness of one another, breathing out kindliness and well-wishing towards one another. It can also be very interesting to practice receptivity. There's 108 other people sending you well-wishing and kindliness right now. Can you let that in? We're softening a little bit the tendency to rigidify around our own experience and the tendency to rigidify around the experience of others, creating these hard walls of separation. Excuse me. We're resting in an experience that's just a little bit more soft, a little bit more connected, a little bit more fluid together. Now let's allow our field of awareness to get bigger and bigger and bigger. As Einstein said, our task must be to free ourselves from this prison, this optical illusion of consciousness where we feel very separate from others. Our task to free ourselves is by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. I always like to have a sense of us all breathing together, the whole world breathing, with a flow, with a rhythm. Seeing if we can have a quality or an intention of well-wishing to all the humans and all the creatures. Now we'll move towards the end of the practice. So allowing our awareness to come very deeply inside ourselves again. So feeling the weight and the shape of the body resting into the support. Letting go of any effort whatsoever. And just allowing the effect of the practice to sort of permeate within us. As we just sit, just lie, absorbing the practice without any effort. And we're ready. Beginning to move a little bit, maybe the fingers and the toes. You might immediately start gripping against experience, breath holding. You notice that, seeing if you can just soften a little bit again, staying in touch with gravity. Coming into bigger movements. However we want to, I always want to stretch. Good. And let's just look at the screen for a moment and take in all these beings that have just been sending you love and goodwill, and you've been sending it to them. That's pretty amazing. And so for those of you here here for the first time, I always stay on for a little bit and people write in the chat what they noticed in the practice. And then, excuse me, I read them out because we sometimes have people here who can't engage with the chat box visually for various reasons. And we always want everyone to feel included. If you want to just slip away, that of course is completely fine, and hope to see you next week. Yeah. And Emma's also put in the chat box that we do all these things for free that we're very, very happy to do, but we have a patron scheme where people who want to support our work can become a patron, which is a small monthly donation. So if you're interested in that, please click on the links. Excuse me, I've got a frog that's taken up residence in my throat. Oh, and Emma's also saying, for anyone in London, we're holding a day retreat on the 10th of November, and that will be with Emma and Sophie Matthew, both really wonderful Breathworks teachers. Yeah, and then she's saying it'll be wonderful to get the London-based community together this year. That's completely true. So if you go on that retreat, it's a chance to meet other people in the Breathworks community. So yeah, really think about doing that. So Victoria says, thank you. So healing and soothing, very reassuring in these turbulent times. Yes, Victoria's in the States, and it does seem to be quite turbulent over there with the election coming up and then just lots of other turbulence in the world. So yeah, thinking of you, Victoria. And Valerie, thank you so much, Vidyamala and Emma. This really gave me a sense of community. I felt like we were all holding hands. That's nice. And Penny, thank you, everybody. It is great to feel that you are all there. That's a very nice comment. Yeah, we are all there for one another. Sarah, thank you, Breathworks. I was distracted today, busy mind. Going to give myself some extra space shortly. Sit quietly with just me. That sounds very good, Sarah. And that's a good decision to make coming out of the practice. And Jackie, thank you. What a lovely meditation this evening. And Kalpana, this is such a healing space. Each breath eases my pain and felt so much love and compassion around me. Thank you. Sending lots of love and good wishes to you all. And Karen, thank you. That sense of being connected was amazing. And thanks from Paul and Lizzie. And Christian, great joint experience. Again, that's a lovely way of putting it. And Marta, thank you all for a chance to give and receive, to break free for a time. And Jennifer, included the woodpecker that sat on the tree outside my home today. We are breathing together. Thank you for being here together, breathing, sending much kindness. And Magdalena, grounded in peace. I matter while it's not about me. Gives so much space. Again, that's a lovely way of putting it. We do matter, but it's not all about ourselves, because we can, get too isolated and just in ourselves. But I love the way you put that. Yeah. I'm trying to find it again. I matter, but it's not about me. Yeah. And Heather, thanks for this. I didn't know how much I needed it. I spent the afternoon filling in tax forms. And some poor person's going to have to read all our tax forms at some point in an office somewhere. So we can also think of them. And Teresa, thank you, Vidyamala. Sorry I joined late, but the little time I spent with you gave me a sense of enlightenment. And Bridget, thank you. Much needed space to breathe. I'm struggling with anxiety. It's due to start a long COVID drug trial on Thursday, and worrying about if it will be the placebo or the drug that hopefully helps and can be rolled out to others in the community. Yeah, so again, it's, just staying with that experience with kindness, and it's all very understandable that you're concerned about that. And Tanya was anxious beforehand as trying to manage bad sciatica, but actually being still amongst this community helped. Thank you. And Anita and Steph, I had to go to hospital by ambulance last week and I'm now home. The practice of accepting all as it is was so helpful, and to connect here to this community felt even more precious to me than ever. Thank you so much, everyone. Really sorry to hear that they had to go to hospital, and I hope it's good news that you're back home now and that you recover. And then Miriam, I felt like we were all I feel like we were all sitting in the same room, although from many different countries. Miraculous. Can you please mention the quote again about kissing the joy? So I was I had one of those blank mind moments. I was trying to think, gosh, who was it that said that? Someone super famous said that. I can see Badger Katie's reaching to type it into the chat. I had a moment, I thought, who was it that said that? So I didn't tell you because I couldn't remember. But it's someone extremely famous in English literature. William Blake, there we are, William Blake. Thank you so much, Badger Katie. Yeah, it's a lovely quote, kiss the joy as it flies, which I think is very much what we were trying to practice rather than crushing it through grasping. And David, thank you. So helpful to connect and ground after several tough weeks here in Western North Carolina following Hurricane Helene. Gosh, wow. Well, so amazing that you came, David. I know it's been really intense there. I've got a friend, or a sort of acquaintance I met at a Buddhist convention maybe about 10 years ago, who lives in North Carolina, and her house was absolutely, totally destroyed. And she nearly died. So I felt very, very aware of the situation there. So, but wonderful that you can just come here and get some nourishment and support from us and grounding. And John, wonderful half hour of peace and a busy day. Thank you. Oh, good. And Emma's put the quote in, put the link into the quote by William Blake. And Nancy, thank you. Coping with scary non-diagnosis of many symptoms helps to connect to others. Good. Okay, so we got to the end of the chat box. Oh, no, Vajrakati's put the whole oh, this is so good. He's put the whole quote in. He who binds to himself a joy does the winged life destroy. He who kisses the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. So good, isn't it? Thank you so much, Vajrakati, for covering for my ignorance. That's brilliant. Wonderful, wonderful quotes. Yeah. Yeah, he who binds to himself a joy does the winged life destroy. So, we're holding on, and through that grasping, the joy goes. But he who kisses the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. Good. So that's a wonderful note to end on. And I hope you all have reasonable weeks in your lives. And just remember that we are all here. We are all here breathing as other human beings. We are all much more connected than we realize all the time. And it can be a lovely thing to remember that. Good. Thanks very much. And thank you, Emma, for covering the tech. Really appreciate that.